Retirement. For some, it signals the end of productivity. For others, it's the golden door to freedom. But what if we told you, retirement isn't just about golf clubs, vacations, or lazy afternoons? It could be the beginning of the most passionate, meaningful, and liberating phase of your romantic life. Yes, you heard that right. Intimacy after retirement is not only possible, it's often better than ever. In a world that celebrates youth and often sidelines aging, this truth is rarely discussed. But today, we're going to explore why retired couples around the globe are rediscovering each other in the most beautiful ways. If you thought intimacy fades with age, prepare to challenge everything you know. This is not just a conversation about physical closeness. This is about emotional depth, freedom, rediscovery, and love redefined. Let's dive in. Point 1. Emotional closeness deepens with time. According to research, long-term relationships often develop a richer emotional bond over the years. And this emotional maturity becomes the very foundation of intimacy after retirement. Without the distractions of raising kids, demanding jobs, or social pressures, couples find themselves in a unique space, one where they can truly see each other again. Picture this: two people sitting across the table in quiet morning light. No urgent schedules to keep, no homework to check, just warm coffee and deeper conversation. Retirement brings that kind of space, the kind where vulnerability becomes easier and more welcomed. After decades of shared memories, ups and downs, and weathered storms, a new kind of intimacy forms, less about performance and more about connection. Retired couples often talk about feeling closer than ever. They touch more often, not in rushed goodbyes, but in tender reassurance. They listen more patiently, and they are not afraid to talk about their needs and desires because, finally, there is time to talk and to be heard. In fact, many therapists note that the emotional intimacy built in these years surpasses that of early romance. It's more real, more raw, and more rewarding. And when emotional intimacy deepens, physical intimacy often follows in ways that feel authentic and unpressured. Point 2. Freedom from pressure and performance. One of the biggest benefits of post-retirement intimacy is the release from societal pressures and personal insecurities. In youth, intimacy is often tangled with expectations: how you look, how you perform, how often it happens. But in retirement, those pressures begin to fade. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself. You're not chasing ideals created by glossy magazines or Hollywood movies. There's a quiet acceptance of each other's bodies and rhythms. And that acceptance becomes fertile ground for deeper, more comfortable intimacy. With fewer distractions and more time, intimacy is no longer an act to be squeezed between meetings and deadlines. It becomes a shared experience, approached with curiosity instead of anxiety, laughter instead of pressure. This freedom allows couples to explore new dimensions of connection. Maybe it's cuddling during afternoon naps, late-night heart-to-hearts, or spontaneous moments that feel surprisingly youthful. When performance is no longer the goal, pleasure and presence take center stage. And this shift changes everything. Point 3. A second chance at romance. Retirement often feels like a reset button. The kids have moved out, the job stress is gone, and suddenly, there's just the two of you again. But this time, you're not the same people you were at 30. You're wiser, more patient, less afraid to show love or ask for it. Many couples describe this phase as falling in love all over again. They take walks they never had time for, cook meals together, travel, hold hands like teenagers. It's a romance that doesn't need candlelight dinners, though those are lovely too. It needs presence. This second wave of romance can be more powerful than the first. It's not based on infatuation, but on a deep understanding of each other's hearts. You're not trying to impress. You're simply trying to enjoy each other. Couples often discover things they never noticed before: a new hobby, an old dream, a different love language. They write love notes again. They flirt again. And it feels sincere because it's built on years of shared history. This is not a fading of passion. It's its renaissance. Point 4. Health and intimacy can improve together. Most people think that growing older means your health and love life slow down, but that's not always true. In fact, after retirement, many couples actually start to feel better, both in their bodies and in their relationships. Why? Because they finally have the time to take care of themselves and each other. With no office to rush to or kids to raise, couples can focus more on eating well, getting enough sleep, staying active, and simply relaxing. All of this helps them feel stronger and happier. And when you feel good in your body, it becomes easier to enjoy closeness with your partner. Today, there are also many ways to get help if needed. Whether it's talking to a doctor, trying new health treatments, or learning better ways to communicate, couples can take small steps that make a big difference. These tools weren't always available years ago, but now they can really improve intimacy and connection. More than just physical health, retirement brings peace of mind. There's less stress, fewer deadlines, and more calm. That peace creates a safe, loving space where couples can grow closer without feeling rushed or worried. Believe it or not, many people in their 60s and 70s say their love life is better than it was decades ago. The reason? They have the time, the care, and the comfort to truly enjoy it. So yes, retirement can be the perfect time to feel healthier and more connected than ever before. Point 5. Rediscovery and reinvention. After retirement, a new and beautiful chapter begins. It's a time not just to rediscover your partner, but also to rediscover yourself. You're no longer the same person you were when you got married, and your partner has changed too. This phase of life invites a simple but powerful question. Who are you now? With work pressure and responsibilities behind you, you finally have the time and space to explore things you never could before. Maybe you start a hobby you once loved, like painting, gardening, or writing. Maybe your partner starts dancing or playing music again. You may even travel to places you always dreamed about, but never had the chance to visit. As you explore these new experiences, you start seeing each other differently, more clearly, more warmly. You notice little things you hadn't seen before. A spark returns, full of curiosity, joy, and closeness. It feels like falling in love again, but this time with deeper understanding. This rediscovery is not only about doing new things. It's about growing on the inside too. You begin to forgive more easily. You let go of old arguments. You learn to listen with patience. The space that opens up from healing the past makes room for a stronger, kinder, more meaningful connection. You laugh more. You support each other better. And you realize that even after so many years together, there's still so much to learn about each other. This stage of life is not the end of romance. It's a new beginning, a chance to grow together again, not just as a couple, but as individuals who are still discovering the joy of living and loving side by side. Point 6. Building a legacy of love. One of the most beautiful reasons why intimacy after retirement feels so special is this. You're not just spending time together anymore. You're building something meaningful. You're creating a legacy of love. Your relationship becomes a strong example for your children, your grandchildren, and even your friends. When young people see an older couple still holding hands, smiling together, or caring deeply for one another, it gives them hope. It shows them that real love can last a lifetime. Your love becomes a silent, powerful message. Love doesn't disappear with age, it grows. There is something truly special about being with someone who has walked through life with you. You've faced challenges, shared dreams, and stayed by each other's side through the ups and downs. That kind of love carries a deep sense of pride. It's not about being perfect, it's about being there, again and again. Now, even the smallest gestures mean a lot. A warm hug, a gentle touch, or simply saying, "I love you," can fill the heart with joy. These little things become precious because they come from a place of deep understanding and connection. At this stage of life, you're not just living together. You're honoring the love you've built over the years. You're showing the world and each other that love isn't just for the young. It's for anyone who chooses to care, to be kind, and to stay close, no matter how many years go by. This is the gift of love after retirement. Not just growing old together, but growing deeper together. Intimacy after retirement is not a fading ember, it's a new fire. A fire fueled by time, trust, tenderness, and togetherness. It's not bound by age, but by willingness. Willingness to love again, to listen again, to connect, not in spite of the years, but because of them. So here's to the couples who are just getting started again, who choose to grow together, love deeper, and write the most beautiful chapters of their story after the world says the book should have ended. Because when it comes to intimacy, retirement isn't the end. It's the beginning of better than ever.